after the go live, we didn't really check what's going on the marketplaces. We were live. So we reached our goal. Yeah, and then a few weeks later, we got an email. You are now offline on Bol Belgium.
Let's Talk Marketplace.
The Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Marketplace. Today it's just me. Ingrid is on holiday. So, my name is Valerie, and I'm your podcast host of the day. I'm really looking forward to it. We're talking about the European B2C marketplace business, as always. And today it's not just me alone on the mic, because my dear co-host, Ingrid is on holiday, but I brought you today a guest. And she is very passionate about the marketplace business, as well as in the fashion industry. And that's quite a match, because I have also my background in there. And actually, we are both also much deep into the fashion marketplace business, especially for underwear and socks. And I can promise you that will be a great deep dive, because this brand is well known for their openness and honesty in sharing insights. So welcome today, Laura Maria Schmidt, Team Lead Marketplace at the German D2C fashion brand Snocks. Great to have you here, Laura.
Yeah, hey, thank you.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you could manage to join our show so quickly. So just 3 weeks ago, not even, we met at the Marketplace Universe Connect event with Bol in Munich. And again on the Newcomers Summit, where you were also on stage with Bol and TradeByte. And then I just asked you like, hey, Laura, can you also imagine to go on our podcast show? And here we are now. I'm really happy to have you here. And to our international listeners, if you don't know Snocks already, Snocks is a D2C fashion brand from and well known in the German e-commerce industry, because they are, your founder actually is also very open in sharing insights, details about how the business is running. And I would say let's keep it that for now. More on Snocks later. But first, I would say let's introduce you a little bit more in detail, Laura. So you get our 3 usual questions. So first of all, it's about you. Who are you, Laura?
Yes, hi everyone, also from my side. I'm first of all very happy and very excited to be here with you, Valerie, today. As you mentioned already, I'm Laura Schmidt. I'm lead marketplaces at the Snocks Group. I've been working for the company for a little more than 3 years now. Before that, I used to work for an integrator, and before that, I was with About You, so quite a while in the marketplace business already.
That's super interesting. And what would you say, what do you do best in the marketplace business?
I think my strength is that I understand the entire business. I'm going to tell you later a little more about that. Every marketplace has its quirks and challenges, and I think my strength is that I have the complete overview, and I like to dive deep into the special challenges, and especially with the marketplaces as partners.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. And I think it's always super interesting and helpful if you have like the different point of views, right? If you work for marketplace, for middleware, for brand, and then you can put together all the different angles to your experience and grow with it. So come to our lovely question about like the fun fact about you.
I love ears.
You what? You love ears?
Ears. Whenever I'm tired or nervous, I'm always playing with my ear loops. It's not possible right now because I'm wearing headphones. But usually I love ears. It calms me down every time.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay, and thanks for sharing. Now a word on Snocks. Maybe you want to share more about who are you, what do you sell, and what's your deal with Snocks? And maybe also Snocks Group, because you mentioned you work for Snocks Group, but there's a group and a brand, right?
Yes, right. Yeah, you said it in the beginning. Snocks is a German-based D2C fashion brand. We are best known for our, let's say, daily essentials, such as like underwear for him and her, socks, lounge and sportswear. But yeah, you teased it a little. Snocks, it's not Snocks anymore. It's the Snocks Group with 3 different brands. Snocks, Oceans Apart for yoga and Pilates clothes, and Femtis for period panties.
Okay, great. And I would say more on the history of Snocks we will hear later. And great to know who you are and who Snocks is. And I'm really looking forward to unpacking your marketplace strategy, because that's it's about today, after a short advertising break in which I would like to tell you more about Kaufland Global Marketplace, who has a special offer for you. If you also want to internationalize and are looking for a partner in Europe, Kaufland Global Marketplace is the right choice for you. With just 1 registration and a central account, you can sell on up to 7 Kaufland marketplaces simultaneously in Germany, Slovakia, Czechia, Poland, Austria, and since this year also in France and Italy. This gives you access to up to 139 million potential online customers. To make cross-border trade easier for you, Kaufland supports its seller with various tools and services, for example, automatic translation of product data and legal text, transfer of your inventory from one sales channel to another in just 3 steps, payment processing, and first-level customer support. Kaufland also has a special treat for newcomers. Anyone who registers as a new seller by January 31st, 2026 will save 1 month basic fee for each country's presence. Ideally, this means no basic fee for 7 months. So go for it, and you can find the promotional code and registration link in the show notes. So, Laura, let's now talk about Snocks and your marketplace business. Actually, I remember when I was a vendor manager at Amazon, more than 10 years ago already. But I was a vendor manager who was responsible for the underwear and a daily basics business, I would say, and kids fashion as well. And back then there were like the usual brands there. And I remember when Snocks came up and like the underwear industry in Germany were like, oh, there's like this new brand and they are so fast, and everyone like try to get more insights about Snocks and saw also how fast you were growing. And I also saw this from the Amazon point of view. And I was like, okay, there's like this new brand with essential products which are like already there, but you made such a good job as a Amazon seller back then and still. But it was really like the brands were like, who's that, and why they are so fast and why they are so well selling. And still, I think that's the case for the underwear industry. So that's how I remember the start of Snocks. Maybe you want to tell us a bit more about your origin and how you started.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, we actually started as a pure Amazon player, Amazon brand on the seller side in 2016. Back then, it was just the easiest way to test if people even like wanted the first product, our invisible socks, still one of our most popular products, by the way. Like the Amazon offered low cost, tons of data, low barriers, and also a quick customer base, right? So pretty quickly after launching, the founders started seeing some success with the brand, with the product. So a few years later, the first, our online shop, like the Snocks online shop, was launched. But at the same time, they saw that Amazon was still working really well for them. So they expanded to, back then, Otto and eBay, our first 2 marketplaces next to Amazon. So to summarize, like the 2 founders back then saw the potential of marketplaces as actually working sales channels. Additionally, they had this really strong testing mentality, and that's something that still holds true today for us as the company. Trying new paths and not being afraid to fail, but at the end of the day, it's all about learnings, and that's how it was with marketplaces back then. And another point, of course, was that with just the shop and Amazon, they realized they were super dependent on these third-party controlled platforms. Like every algorithm update or policy change could impact the entire business overnight, right? So as of today, we grew to 10 different marketplaces across 26 countries. So that's quite a lot. Some marketplaces, shut down over time, and others just didn't make sense anymore for us during the time. And we're still growing.
Yeah, that's quite interesting, because you also mentioned then you started after Amazon with eBay and Otto. And I actually did a photograph of your overview of the marketplaces you showed on the Newcom Summit, and there was no eBay on it. So is this one where you said like, okay, maybe that's not really relevant for us anymore?
Yeah. So it was quite strong in the beginning, but then the revenues were like decreasing all the time, and our account, to be really honest, was too buggy, and we restarted a few times, but it didn't make any sense for us. So that was one of the few marketplaces we decided to cut actually from our side.
Okay. I will ask you later about like facts and figures, when and how do you cite this. But let's first come to other questions. What would you say are the main challenges you faced when expanding from Amazon Germany to other marketplaces like Zalando, About You, Bräuninger, and so many others? Because you mentioned you are selling on 10 marketplaces.
Yeah. As I said in the introduction, each marketplace has its own rules, right? So Amazon, for example, is super data and keyword driven. Zalando and About You, on the other hand, are much more about curation, visuals, and brand fit. While on Amazon, you can build and manage a PPC set up manually, like right down to the smallest detail. Most marketplaces don't even have the PPC option. They just have retail media that focuses on branding. Zalando, for example, does have PPC, but you basically just select your articles and pick a budget for a certain period. On About You and Bräuninger, you can at least set a CPC. And Otto just recently launched keyword targeting, which opens up like completely new possibilities for us. Other examples are communication and participating in deal campaigns. Every single marketplace has its own process. It ranges from simply adjusting the prices via the interface to having confirm your participation in an Excel sheet, or even doing it through product data mapping. That's my least favorite. So talk. What I'm trying to say is every marketplace works differently, and it's just super hard, but at the same time super important to keep an overall overview and stay on the ball like really everywhere. And that's why I always keep saying like marketplace business is not just a side gig. Like you have to really commit to this strategy.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, basically, based on your answers, Laura, I can already see that you are quite deep into the marketing and retail media game. What is actually your marketplace setup in total? So what is like, how do you upload? Like, what is your middleware integrator? How do you do logistics?
Yeah. So integrator wise, we work together with TradeByte. Because for us, TradeByte is the best solution for our needs, basically. We have, on our side, we have a manual Google Sheet filling with all the product data, sending it to TradeByte, and the mapping is done there. Yeah, that works quite well for us, but we're still working on a PIM system solution for us. But 2026 is our year. We can't wait, to be honest. Yeah, and logistics-wise, we have a logistic company working for us. It's called Geodes, one of the biggest players in the field. And they do everything for us, all the send-outs in every country.
So you're not using any FBA, ZFS marketplace solutions?
Oh, well, yeah, we do. Yeah, we for Amazon and Zalando and About You, we use the hybrid model, I would call it. So some like first is FBA, FBA, and ZFS, like the marketplace fulfillment solutions, and all these. Like the marketplace strategy is backed up with our D2C shipment via Geodes.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Okay. Can you walk us a little bit through Snocks' journey into the international markets? Because you started in Germany, right? You also told us that you are already selling in 26 different countries. Where did you start and where are you right now?
Yeah. So we started off the easy step, which was the Amazon Pen EU program.
Yes, yeah.
That gave us the direct access to France, Italy, Spain, and stuff. From there, we basically did the same thing with Zalando and About You via ZFS and FBA. At the same time, we expanded our shop into the DACH region. Then came the Benelux countries and so on. We are live in 8 different countries right now with our shop only. And having this setup, we've seen great success in Switzerland, for example, with Zalando or the Netherlands.
Okay.
And Netherlands with our shop. And then we started looking at the local players like Bol in the Netherlands, or even, like you said, Galaxus in Switzerland. So we always come from our best known marketplaces, Zalando, About You, Amazon, and internationalize afterwards when we've seen great success in those specific countries.
You test the markets with something which is already there and easier to expand to, right? And then you realize, okay, this country is pretty strong for us, and then you're looking for the local heroes there and go there.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And platforms like Amazon, Zalando, and About You made that step like super easy for us. But now with our own shop and by bringing in like local players as Galaxus or Bol, we are really testing new waters. And here comes our testing strategy again.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you say, like, despite of like this testing markets and then growing to the local heroes, how are you selecting new marketplaces or new countries? You say like, okay, where do we go next? What is like marketplace? Is it like the marketplace size, audience fit, specific features? What are you looking for? What is your criteria?
Interesting question, because I think it's a very big one for most of the brands, but we are actually not too heady about that. Of course, we look at the size of the marketplaces, the target audience, do our products fit into their assortment? Are we in the same ballpark, like price-wise, for example? Those are actually the core questions we ask ourselves. But from there, we kind of follow the strategy as long as it's somehow profitable. We want to have the widest possible reach. Just be present like everywhere and capture as many people as we can. In other words, for the marketplace language, low-cost customer acquisition, right? Okay. So we're very profitable on the marketplaces, so it's super easy to reach the new audience. But it's also about creating synergies. For example, if you see that influencer marketing is really working well for our shop in the Netherlands, we support the shop with our platform presence.
Okay. That's quite a good mix, actually. So, I would say let's continue our conversation after another short break and just a quick word on our partner and sponsor, Base. Do you think Amazon dominates everywhere? Think again. In Poland, shoppers spend 6 times more time on Allegro than on Amazon, and even Kaufland Global Marketplace ranks higher in user engagement. If you want to understand why Central and Eastern Europe plays by its own marketplace rules, don't miss our next free online webinar, Cracking the Central Eastern European Code, Marketplace Strategy for Central and Eastern Europe. So join Ingrid on November 18th at 11 a.m. CET for a strategic yet hands-on session with Timo Gerken, Managing Director DACH at Base, former known as BaseLinker. We'll explore what makes platforms like Allegro, eMark, and Heureka unique, and how Western brands can successfully expand across Poland, Romania, Czech Republic, and beyond. And you will learn how to manage pricing, logistics, and customer service across borders, and which tools help you go live and scale fast. So if you are ready to expand eastwards and tap into Europe's fastest growing marketplace region, this webinar is for you. Save your seat now on the marketplace-universe.com/events/webinars. And see you in the webinar. We will also put you the link to register in the show notes. So, Laura, let's follow up with our questions. You already said we want to have lowest cost possible and expand to many people as possible. How do you evaluate the return on investment from the marketplaces you're currently on? Are there specific metrics that drive your decisions to stay or leave a platform? And how do you decide it?
Yeah, it's all about profitability. We always manage based on CM3, like contribution margin 3, Deckungsbeitrag, on platform level. Of course, we also have revenue targets, but profitability is always top priority. What is really important to mention here at Snocks Group, everyone on the team can access our sales reporting. So it's basically our contribution margin calculation. And we've broken it down for every single platform. And that gives everyone the transparency into relevant numbers, right? So when we talk specifically about, let's say advertising, we essentially have an open budget. We just have the target marketing ratio, which we can always monitor in the sales reporting. And for us, this is the key to running a strong marketplace business. So in my opinion, fixed budgets just leave a lot of potential on the table. And regarding the question, if we keep going with the marketplace or not, it's also the profitability question. If we are not profitable all over, we say, okay, it's done. So it doesn't make any sense. But it was just a few times the case since I'm with Snocks at least.
Okay. I mean, that's quite interesting. If I have a look on former brands I consulted or even the brands I worked for, having really a dashboard where you can see in live how your contribution margins are and everyone has access to it is really not standard. By far not. I would wish it would be. Yeah. How are you doing it? I mean, just praxis wise.
We have a fantastic data team taking care of it. If it's possible, we have all the RPs from the marketplace dashboards, collecting all the data and for especially marketing, and all the other numbers come from TradeBud.
Okay, so So you do it literally mostly by yourself with your data team, right? Yeah. Okay. You are selling and now I mention all the 10 marketplaces because I wrote it down. And correct me if I'm wrong, you're selling at Amazon, Zalando, Otto, Bräuninger, About You, Limango, Galaxus, Decathlon, Sportcheck, Outlet City Metzingen, and Bol, right? Did I forget anyone?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So what would you say are the key lessons you have learned from selling on marketplaces? versus, for example, Zalando and Amazon, who are already quite mature, I would say, compared to Galaxus, Decathlon, Bol, or Limango, which are, different.
So Amazon really taught us speed and data discipline, which we can now apply really well to Otto and Bol. It's a constant optimization game. Numbers, numbers, numbers. Zalando and About You didn't start off quite as performance driven, but they're definitely heading more and more in that direction. They're implementing more PPC options and with not only branding as a focus, but also with performance KPIs. With the smaller marketplaces like Galaxus or Limango, we learned like the general rule, one size fits all doesn't work. You really have to know the specific quirks of each marketplace and adapt to them. Only knowing about them doesn't help. You have to really adapt to them. And there's a thumb rule in my world. The less control the seller has himself, the more you have to stick to the marketplace rules. So, for example, on Amazon, there are no strict rules regarding content. So try whatever is possible. But there are really strong rules strict rules on Zalando or About You. So you really have to follow what the marketplace is giving to you.
So your team, Laura, you are head of marketplaces, and I know from our previous talks that Amazon is a separate team, but I would also count it all behind marketplace business. How many people are working for Snocks, like focusing on marketplace business?
We have 8.5 FTE. Working for the entire marketplace team. 2.5 of them, me included, are all marketplaces besides Amazon.
Okay. And how is your share in the marketplace business, including Amazon, for total Snocks? Are you allowed to share this with us? I know I didn't put it in the questions up front.
No worries. Last year's data, so 2024, we had 35% of the entire Snocks revenue via marketplaces.
Yeah, and that's a lot. I mean, that's and that's also why I think your example is so amazing, because you really put effort in this marketplace business, and you cannot handle this like, there's one person and they do it on the side, which so many brands are doing it, and then they are like, we have like one or two people, and we love to be like Snocks, and then I'm like, but you need to have a good base, right, and a good team to really get this growth and this always changing topics right in place, right?
Absolutely.
And you need manpower for it. It's not like you set it up once and then it's done. A marketplace business is so versatile and so much changing. So you really need to stay on the edge and be on time and So next question. So Snocks is actually expanding across multiple European markets. What have been your biggest hurdles regarding logistics, customer support, localization of marketing efforts? Maybe you want to share a story with us.
Well, when we talk about expanding through Zalando About You, it's super easy. That's because you don't really have to create any special content. Zalando takes care of the customer service, and logistics mostly run through ZFS. But as I said, we also serve some countries with our own D2C shipping. And that's where it sometimes gets critical with Zalando, for instance. It's not because our warehouse isn't fast enough. Or just go out like same day most of the time. But it's because of the last mile carriers in those countries aren't quick enough. And Zalando punishes that with low visibility because we are responsible for the contracts with those carriers. So this is quite tough. Beyond that, with Bull, for example, we had the challenge of not just like translating our content, but actually have it localized and adapted for the platform. You mentioned customer service. I think that isn't a major challenge for us, to be honest, because the rules and the SLAs are quite similar to our local platforms, I would say. And regarding language, English is as the main language is fine for now. And if it's not anymore, there's ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's completely true. I remember we have actually the Marketplace Leader Circle where we put together some brands from the fashion and sports industry into a closed circle where we share insights. And we had also the logistical part recently. And there also we found out that many brands, like big fashion brands, have the issue with Zalando Austria and also the SLAs there because of the Austrian post who are not matching. And then we talked about it. There are like 16 different brands in this group. And so many said like, yeah, we just have this problem in Austria. And then we were like, then I realized that that's so important to share insights like this, because sometimes you think like, yeah, for us, we are the only ones. And then you realize, well, that's it seems to be a major problem. It's not just us. There are also the other brands having similar issues. But in your daily business, this is maybe just a part of like this big picture, and you don't realize, okay, the other ones have this too.
Yeah.
And speaking about others, you also mentioned you are named now the Snocks Group because you acquired in November last year Oceans Apart, the yoga brand, and Femtis as well. And you integrated them also somehow in your marketplace business. How have you done it to integrate them? And what did you change or adapt integrating those two brands?
Yeah. So for Oceans Apart, the first thing we did was we cut the entire integrator and technical setup they came to us with. Not because it was like not working or we were not satisfied. No, that was not the point. The point was that we wanted a similar setup to Snocks, because as one team responsible for all three brands, the setup, like the technical setup, has to be lean, right? Yeah. So we cut the entire setup and integrated Oceans Apart with TradeByte. And they used to be live on Zalando and About You. We took over that setup. That was fine, but we are expanding right now. So more countries to come. And we also copy the Snocks marketplace strategy. So our goal is still actually to bring Oceans Apart live on all working platforms as Snocks is on.
Okay.
So this a few sentences about Oceans Apart. Very important to mention also here is that it's a complete separate brand from Snocks. So there's no connection. It's with two different accounts for every tool we're using. And for Femtis, we currently run Femtis through our Snocks account for the marketplaces. Because Femtis was too small to integrate them as a separate brand. But here it's funny because we are really facing issues because the marketplaces are not ready to present period panties in a correct way, because there are no clusters, there are no values for a really good mapping. So it's always tough to present them in a really really good way on the marketplaces.
And that's often the case with like these really niche products, which are, I would say periodic underwear is not really a niche anymore because it like grew so much in the past years. But still, for marketplace business, it's a niche, and they as you said, they're like not the infrastructure is there to really set them up properly. And then again, every marketplace, you have to check like what is there, where is it there, etc. Right? So I totally understand that. And yeah, looking ahead, what's next for Snocks in terms of your marketplace strategy, Laura? Are there any new platforms or countries plans you're targeting from expansion or for expansion in the near future?
Yeah, absolutely. The main plan is to expand deeper into Europe, exploring like all the local players in sport and lifestyle direction. Yeah, next might be France, maybe the Nordics. Yeah, Allegro isn't off the menu either, so there are quite a lot of decisions to make, but yeah, we're growing. I can promise that.
Yeah, I guess that that's what you promised us from the beginning, right? And last question, do you have a favorite marketplace fuck up story you want to share?
Yeah, favorite and fuck up is not really going well in one sentence, but yeah, I have a favorite fuck up story. That was actually our go live on Bol. That was our latest and biggest fuck up story we've had so far. When we decided to expand to the Netherlands with Bol, our first step was to speak with TradeByte, right? So this is, by the way, always our first step when we have a marketplace in mind we can expand on. It's always the first step, talking to TradeByte. So yeah, after that, within a couple of weeks, yeah, we were live on Bol in the Netherlands and Belgium. Great success. We had our German content translated with AI. We exported our images, and after that, after the go live, we didn't really check what's going on the marketplaces. We were live, so we reached our goal. Yeah, and then a few weeks later, we got an email. You are now offline on Bol Belgium.
Okay.
So can you imagine the panic?
Yes,
in
like,
the team?
holy shit, yeah.
What happened? Yeah, I mean, we thought we had our bases covered, right? So we had a rough idea of the Dutch market. Our logistics were actually pretty solid. Our content for the German-speaking markets was fine. So there was no reason at the first glance. Yeah, then we had a closer look at the marketplace, and we were selling a women's lace panties. The title said "for ladies and gentlemen," at least in Dutch. I was very proud of that. But for ladies and gentlemen, the images were a complete mess. We had like 4 image sets exported, so it was a total mess of the same images, the same but different images. The product descriptions had no structure at all, and we eventually breached our SLA for Belgium and received a strike from Bol. They work with strikes as a warning system.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They were right. Yeah, that was basically our start with Bol. It turns out we did everything wrong.
So how did it happen? How could that happen?
Yeah, well,
You're data kings.
yeah, we didn't have them on our agenda actually, because the team was busy with all the other well-known platforms we have in our assortment like for years. So there was no time for Bol. But like I said, like marketplace business is not a side gig.
Yeah.
So what we've done since, we started actually working together with Bol, worked on our product content, started logistics via Bol, started PPC, started the branded shelf, like used all their possibilities and opportunities to push our sales, right? We learned about the local holidays by speaking with Bol, with our contact person. We have a contact person.
Yeah, that's pretty unusual for marketplace business, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and what can I say? We clearly see the success in the numbers already, even with the small adjustments. And here we have been reminded, marketplace business is not a fucking side gig. It's a commitment.
Oh, yeah.
Also for Snocks.
I can underline this. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we could actually keep on talking about marketplace stories for hours, Laura. But for today, time's up, because otherwise I get some like comments from Ingrid, even she's on holiday. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing so many insights. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Valerie, for having me.
Yeah,
It
you're
was
welcome.
fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. And yeah, if you liked listening to us today, you could make us very happy by following us and rating our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or watch our video on YouTube. Yeah, and of course, by tuning in again next time, there you will be greeted by Ingrid, who will be talking about internationalization on the eBay marketplace, which you kicked out, Laura. So see
Shame.
what's happened there. Yeah, maybe you also will listen to it and maybe rethink your decision. And yeah, well, that's bound actually to be very interesting. So better tune in. They have a lot of like new insights. For now, thank you very much for listening, and bye-bye.
You listen to Let's Talk Marketplace,
the Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.